It's banging. It's banging. Brittany, Alexis, Mary, Grow. These are your guys, they're hosts for the show. It's banging. It's banging. It's time for the banging show.
Welcome to the Bangin' Podcast, where you end your week with a bang. I'm Brittany.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Mir.
And I'm Glow.
Woo! Awesome. So, wherever you guys are, we pray that you guys are safe. We know that some of you guys are coming from work. You probably had a busy day, but what better way to end your week than be here and watching us, right? And y'all, this topic right here, it's a little spicy because today, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about obedience, even when it is hard.
My God.
So, Brittany, how you feeling, girl?
Girl, I love that the title is Choosing Obedience. Because one thing about obedience is a choice. And there have been times in my life, forgive me now, Lord, that I did not choose obedience. I chose the opposite. That's okay. There's grace and there's mercy. There's grace and there's mercy. So, actually, funny story. How I got to Lakeland, the Lord actually told me before anyone had said anything, the Lord told me that I was going to move to Lakeland. And I told Gloria Ann, I said, this is in January 2024. I said, I don't know, but I feel like I'm going to be in Lakeland by the end of the year. I kid you not. A few weeks later, we do this thing called first fruit. I'm giving my first fruit at church. Pastor Tiff goes, I don't know. You just need to move to Lakeland. And I was like, and at that point in my life, it was moved to Lakeland. And by the way, y'all, other than my church being in Lakeland, I wanted nothing to do with Lakeland. So It was 813 all day, every day. Shout out to Tampa. I got mad love for the city. But I'm temporarily in Lakeland. But so she says that, and then Bishop go talking about, oh yeah, and you should try teaching.
My Lord.
Two things that I did not want to do.
Double whammy.
What? I'm like, Lord, and I remember leaving this is from the whole church, basically. And they're like, Lakeland girl. And I'm like, no.
863.
Right, 863. I'm like, no, 813. Oh gosh, that was really tough. Really, really tough. So, I start my journey and I'm trying to figure out, where I should go. So, I remember March comes around and I'm looking at trying to, teach, and it just didn't work out. And I'm like, Lord, whatever. So, and I keep telling these people, I'm like, I'm going to move to Lakeland. My roommates that I had, I'm like, I'm going to move. And they kept asking, oh, when are you going to do it? First time I was like, oh, March. Then I'm like, April. Then I'm like, oh, July 1st. Then I'm like, August 1st. So I keep pushing it back. But what's crazy is during that time, those 8 months where I wasn't obedient, when I tell you everything that could go wrong went wrong. My car that was only 3 years old, my condenser and my compressor, who knows what those are, but they both went out. Something else went out. My alternator went out. Then I had to get a new battery because my alternator went out. At my job where they absolutely loved me, they thought I was just amazing. There was some beef for a little bit, all of these things, even to the point where it was just crazy. It was really crazy. But I knew it was all because I wasn't being obedient. And I remember I finally moved and I moved, I started actually a job in Lakeland. So that was the first thing I did. And I was working for a company as a social worker. And I was like, oh, I'll just do this. Mind you, not doing what the Lord told me. So, I was in Lakeland. I was kind of tiptoeing. And I remember towards the end of August, I was like, I just feel like I have to teach. I just had the knowing, I'm not doing something right. So end of August, it was August 31st, and I moved to Lakeland, and then I ended up teaching. And I literally told the Lord, I was like, Lord, please, when I move to Lakeland, let nothing else go wrong with my car. Let this be a Brittany, you did well. You did it. And I haven't had any other problems with my car. But everything else has just been on the up and up. So I really had to choose obedience. It was hard, y'all. It was so hard, but I finally chose it, and thank God for grace and mercy, because I don't know where I'd be if I was still in Tampa, unfortunately.
Yes. Come on, girl. Come on.
And with obedience, it's so important to obey. And, we're talking about obey God, y'all. So, like, you could make the choice to obey man, so let's be very clear. We're talking about obey God. Obey God. So, obedience, it's important to obey God in the big things and also in the small things.
Ooh,
so
that's good.
Yeah. So even in I think about how I have to choose to obey God when I'm like even at home, he would tell me to do something. And I could make the choice to either do what I want to do or I can do what he told me to do. So recently, I'm home and, I'm just chilling and I'm like, I'm off of work. I'm feeling good. The house is clean. I really want to watch a movie, but God told me that I needed to listen to a message of faith. I don't know. I'm not.
Be honest.
Can I be honest?
Yes. That's the truth. Yeah.
Yes. Like, God, please. Like, I'm going to church.
Probably already listened to one.
Right. Like, oh my gosh. I don't want to listen to no message of faith right now.
Right.
But he told me to do it. And I knew I heard him correctly. And like, I just think, thank God, God is not like us, But when, like, for instance, if I'm with my kids in children's church and they don't listen to what I say the first time, yes. You know what I mean?
Say that.
Or even when I was teaching and they wouldn't listen and they wouldn't listen, that just gets you so, ooh.
Good.
So I'm like, God, thank you, that you show me so much grace and you show me so much mercy because I'm like, you know what I mean? So I ended up, doing what he said and I obeyed and I watched my message of faith. And that message, it really, I got what I needed. And it's just like, God knows what you need, even when you don't know what you need. And I'm like, God, thank you that I listened. Oh my gosh, thank you, Lord, that I obeyed. So obedience is rewarding. Yeah, obedience is rewarding. Whether it be a reward that, I think that, when I, do this, I'm going to make more money. Sometimes it won't even be more money. It might be something else. So like, even when I listen to that message of faith, my spirit man just heightened that day and I felt so encouraged and it's what I needed. So obey in the big things and
the word says what? Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yes.
My God.
Obedience. Way better.
Yes. Yeah, obedience. I got a lot of stories, y'all, but the one I think I really probably should share is the one where, I had already moved to Lakeland. So the Lord already told me clearly, move to Lakeland. I did that. I was there for like 2 years maybe. And y'all, that third year, something about that third year, things were just like, I don't know. It was just like, it was just like, it was so hard. Like, I literally was like, I'm done. Like, I literally was at the breaking point. I threw in the towel. I was like, I'm done, Lord. This doesn't make sense. I'm struggling financially. I'm struggling emotionally. I'm struggling just everywhere. Like, there's certain, friendships that I've had around me. It was just like, what is happening? Like, everything was just turning upside down. It felt like, oh, and I remember my bank account. The negative it was weekly. It didn't make no sense. Every time I opened that bank account, red.
My God.
Red. What? Like, what? Like, when I tell you, it did not make sense. I was like, I'm moving back with my mom. I'm selling my car. Like, I literally was at that breaking point. I was really trying to make things move. I was trying to make things shake. I was like, this is so uncomfortable. And the thing is, with obedience, it does not mean comfort. And so
I feel like it never means comfort.
It never means comfort. But, some people are like, well, God told me this. So they expect, just pillows and clouds and cherries and blossoms, whatever. But no, it wasn't that. When I tell you, I was through it. And I look back at the pictures, like, y'all, my hair is just, I was really going through it. And I got to that point and, I called my mom. I said, Mom, I'm moving back. And she said, great, I'll prepare your room right now. Mind you, my mom, she's like, ready, right? And I said, you know what? Okay. So she's happy, and in the logical mind, it makes sense. You're struggling financially. Go back to your mom's house, the same house that my God told me to leave, but for me, it just made sense because one, it was comforting. It was comfortable. I know the place, and little did I know that it was going to set me back even more. And so something told me to talk to Bishop and Pastor Tiff. And when I did, Bishop told me straight up, I don't think you should move back. And I said, okay, great. But it was that conversation I had with Pastor Tiff that really just changed my life. And she told me about the gumbo. And she was like, stop trying to add your own thing right now. Like, and she prayed for me. And, you know, it's everything that I needed, because I was really like, look, I'm just going to move and I'm just going to tell them after. But something told me to tell them before. And so, you know, she told me that, you know, you just got to wait. You just got to trust the Lord. And, you know, just when she said that, it just was a comforting, like a comfort just came into me, you know, a peace that surpassed understanding.
Amen.
And so, but, you know, I look back and I'm like, wow, if I did not obey, if I wasn't, you know, obedient to, you know, staying and, you know, speaking to my leaders and confiding in my leaders, you know, I wouldn't have met my husband the next year.
Wow.
I wouldn't have, you know, gotten the job that I got the next year. Like everything, like it literally turned around literally the next year. And I'm thinking, man, like, what if I did not obey and I just left? And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, I'm still going to go to church. Mind you, I'm an hour away. My mom's an hour away. So I wouldn't have been as involved in church as, you know, I am now. And of course, you know, he was able to see me. So, you know, because if I'm like going to church like once a week, you know, he'd have been like, who is that? Yeah. But because I was there so consistently, you know, the proximity, it really helped me to be consistent in church. And so I think back to just that moment of like, I'm done. Like, I'm gone. Like that's it. Like, no more Lakeland. And, you know, to see, you know, man, like that obedience really was going to cost me so much. Ooh. And yeah, I'm just like, man, that was good. That was a time. That was a time. But look at me thriving.
Yes. Amen.
Thriving. Married.
Baby.
So
homeowner.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That real quick, that reminds me of when I had first gotten my degree in ministry, you know, we had to write sermons. And one thing the Lord gave me, I haven't said anything, you know, we do tithing, you know, stuff. But I haven't done this yet, but it's the setup and how God sets us up. So there's more to come, more to come one day. But I think about Joseph. God be setting us up for success. We don't see it in the moment, but you know, but like you said, back then, had you have left and went your own way, man, who would have known, you know, where you'd be right now? So, but yeah, one day I'll have the whole thing together.
And again, just like Brittany said, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I don't want to see that sacrifice happen in my life. So that's why the transition to Lakeland is so important in my life. And, you know, you guys are talking about stories of, you know, being obedient and then seeing God, you know, come through and show out and the blessing from it. And right now I want to talk about my obedience moving and what I'm going to see. I haven't seen anything yet.
Speak to it.
But what I'm going to see, I just know it's going to be good because number one, everyone's saying it's good. But number two, I look at your guys' life and I look at everybody else's life who made that choice or who stuck to the plan of God, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what is it going to look like. And so right now, moving, there's a lot of things that need to be ironed out, things that need to happen. There's a lot of shifts that are going to start happening, but I always think about the blessings that are going to come from it. I think about what Pastor Tiff said. She's like, it's only going to be good. It's only going to be good. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to have amazing pastors in your life that speak into your life and that help you and guide you. Because when I talked to her about moving, you know, she prayed. She didn't tell me what I should do. She prayed for me because she could feel that anxiousness. I was emotional. I was crying because it was a decision that I had to make right then. And I'm the kind of person, just like, you know, Brittany, and, you know, I'm a planner. I like to know what it's going to look like. I want to know what I need to do. I need to prepare myself. I was like, I want to buy a new bedroom set. Yeah. I need to start cleaning and organizing. I want to pack. I have all of these things that I need to just get organized. And I didn't have that time. And so it created this stress and anxiety. And I talked to Pastor Tiff about it and I'm crying and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she prayed for me and she said, so what are you feeling? And then right then and there, I said, I need to move to Lakeland. And that was such a big step for me. And even that, I felt that like the anxiety break off of me, which was, because it almost made me be like, we'll revisit it in a couple of months. But no, the time was now, because I remember, the idea was brought to me months ago. And I was like, yeah, in this month, I had time. That month came, but I still have more time. And then situations happened. No, but I still have more time. And then that time came, and I said, whoa. I need more time. time. But I know that with time and being obedient to God and staying the course and pushing through, I'm going to see the blessings that come from it. And I always reference, even when I'm talking to people, my other friends, I do have other friends.
Right. Ooh, where?
Some of my other friends, when I talk about me transitioning to Lakeland, I always go to your story, and I always talk about what you just talked about. I said, my friend was going to move back home, but she stayed obedient, stayed where she needed to be. And in no time, she met her husband, became a homeowner, got married, and now is pregnant. I always think like that could be me. And just like when I made that decision right then and there, how quick it shifted and how fast things can happen. That is what's going to happen for me in this transition.
Yes, it is.
I know. I was even talking to you guys when I told you about when I, moved. I was like, there's going to be healing in my body. There's going to be. What if this opens the door to a man? What if this opens the door to new opportunity with income, finances, a new job? It's just opportunity for the Lord to do a great work in my life, and most importantly, just to become stronger with the Lord.
Absolutely,
that's important.
Absolutely, I will say, like, without that journey, I feel like my relationship with the Lord would have never been where it's at. It's still like I never arrived, right? But with that, like, that just really like helped me to just trust the Lord even more, and we build a better bond with God, and just so
and that's where that faith comes into action. Knowing I don't know what it looks like, but I'm just gonna do it because the Lord said it. And you know what? I would rather be in the will of God than in my own.
Good.
I succeed when I'm with God. I'm successful when I'm with the Lord.
Yeah, one thing I think that was really good that you did, I was like, I hope she does this. And this would be like a tip that we could give, like even people that are, choosing obedience, is you just did it right then and there.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it right then and there. Right? Like I was like, maybe later. But when God says it, just do it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so important when it comes to obedience, because you get to that point where if you don't do it right then and there, you start to question, well, God, did you say this?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait until that was me. I'll just wait until and
the
honestly,
logical side.
Yeah, I would have waited until 2026. You know what I mean? Like, they were up to me. Live with my mom and no rent, baby. That. Nothing can beat that.
Yeah.
But the plan of God can beat that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's a great tip. Do you have any other tips that we can give our viewers to,
I would say just surrounding yourself with God-minded people, and just being careful who you have in your circle.
Yes.
Because there was a point in time where even the people that, were most closest to me, they were very negative. And I was actually called a lost puppy one time when I, told him I was moving to Lakeland. And it was actually somebody that very close to me. And I was like, wow, like that's serious. But I knew I heard God.
Yes.
And so there was a point in time where you're going to have to tune in, or just close your ears to the naysayers and open your ears and surround yourself more with people who are, God-minded. Because they can pray for you, like you said, like they can sense some things and they could be like, let's pray this, or like, I'm praying for you, or, they could share something with you that, in their lives that could help you in your journey. And so with me, I felt like I was, growing closer to like, my pastors. Like I was, newly to the church, but I was like, okay, the Lord just had me in that season where, I was just talking to her, texting her. And it felt weird because I was like, I don't want to inconvenience you, but the Lord was also pulling on her to, reach out to me and check on me. And, cause some people would have been like, nah, like that's weird. But I was just so open, and, God just sent the people that needed to be in my life. And, and which was one of you guys.
Oh.
But there was other people too, you know, that was able to help me and mentor me. Shout out to Amanda.
Aww.
She was actually my mentor in that season. And mind you, like we was you know, meeting at Starbucks, and we was talking about, you know, the word, and you know, it's something that I needed. And even when we weren't meeting as much because she got married, but you know, she just kept checking on me. She kept checking on me, and it was a relationship that we built. And you know, I just think about if in that season, if I didn't have, you know, those, you know, godly people, even when I moved to Lakeland, like the people that I lived with, they were just godly minded. Like it just I felt like it really made a lot of things, you know, better.
Yeah.
And I just definitely recommend people to, like, you know, if people are not aligned to where you're going, you need to minimize that communication.
That's
It's true.
So good.
It's true. If they're not if they're not going to where you're going, then you're gonna have to make a choice. And you know, God's way is always better.
Yes.
God's way is always better. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but it is.
And even when it's hard and difficult, I always think about who I can lean on and who I can go to.
Yep.
I can go to you guys. You know, like when Brittany was talking to me, she was so excited and telling me all this stuff. Like I wasn't very responsive, but I needed to hear. Yeah, I literally was like, and she's like, I'm so proud of you. It's gonna be, and I'm like, and even like Pastor was like, it's a blessing. I'm like, Nir was like, I'm so excited. I was like, Alexis too. I wasn't very reactive to it, but it's important because I'm gonna remember that when I'm in Lakeland and I'm seeing and I'm living in the promises.
Absolutely.
When I'm living in the promises. So it's important to have people in your life because that are going to pray for you, that are going to push you to that are going to encourage you. And especially people that are Christian, God like-minded people that are going to think like you and know the plan, because there's people that don't understand the plan. They don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. They don't understand that. Why would you go from something that's free to having to pay way more? Why are you commuting for this amount of time? They don't need to understand the plan of God, but it's important to have those people in your life so they can encourage you, because doing this on your own, you can't do it. And that's why it's so important to have community. And that's why God has you in community, and important to have a good church. So plug in to a good church.
Yes.
Get some good godly friends that are going to pray with you. Good pastor. Shout out to Bishop and Pastor Tiff. We love you. It's important. It's important.
I was literally at Starbucks it was the last Sunday of the year, and I was on my way to church. There was like a car meet at in the parking lot. There were so many cars, and I'm just looking, and I literally in my mind, I'm like, y'all don't go to church? Like, what are y'all doing?
What place you talking about?
Like, it's 9:30 in the morning. Why are you out here at a car show, at a car meet? Like, go to church and then go to your car meet. Like, it's just so crazy. It's so crazy.
Very crazy. Very crazy. So get plugged in, like Glorianne said, please, you know, and ask God, you know, where to go. You know, don't just willy-nilly. You know, there's a lot of churches out there. You know, that's not to put one down over another. But if you're in Lakeland, if you're in the area, please come visit our church, Faith Celebration Church, if you can. We also have another location in Kissimmee, and one more in Miami.
Well, where pastors have a national broadcast on Brown Global Ministries. I think you can, BGM. You can find them. You can find the website. You can go on social media, TikTok,
Great Expectations.
YouTube. Yes, Great Expectations. Definitely check them out. Will not regret it. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So what is God asking you to do in 2026 that requires a faith move? Put it in the comments. We want to interact. We want to pray with you. We want to be in this with you. So go ahead and let us know.
Absolutely.
No, I'm excited to see what you guys say. But this time, I think it's time for a break.
Bang break.
Oh my goodness. All right. Again, get into the cup, y'all. Merch.
Get into it.
I mean, who doesn't like a pink cup? All right, let's see. Let's see. Here, and I told Nir I'm going to be like this. Mix it up. All right, let's see. Try to pick one from the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. This says, okay. Would you rather be ghosted or get an honest but brutal explanation?
Ghost me.
I'm alright with being ghosted.
Yeah. Leave me wondering. I'll get over eventually one day.
But like, What if it's like your man? Like y'all been together for like a year and he just leaves. You rather be ghosted than have an explanation?
Get right or get left.
I think I would like an honest explanation. At first I was like, I want to be ghosted. But what if they say something that's like, that could really help me in the future? But because I'm thinking about it.
All I can see Alexis like this.
Why?
Okay. Like, what if it's actually something that could, like, help me? Like, well, I know there's some people. Listen, I'm not speaking from my experience.
That's real.
But some people they might not know, or they're not aware of something that they do, or just things that they suffer
true.
from.
I was thinking the context of you talking with somebody, and they like,
if you're not going to see this person again, and it's like, okay, we're done, but like, hey, just tell me like what it was.
Fine, leave me and hurt my feelings. Go ahead,
and then boom, hang up. You never have to see the person again, and then just move on from there. Because you never know. It could be something that's like, oh, okay, you know what? I see what they're talking about. Let me fix it.
I see what you're
It depends on what it is, because sometimes it might be a little petty. It might be a little petty, So if it's something that's like, I can't change that, or I can't help that, then like, oh, you go to church too much. Sorry.
If someone said that,
sorry.
You got to go.
But if it's something that's like, I could really change and it's going to help me for the future, like if they're actually being like genuine, because hygiene. Some people might,
you've been with me for a year and you won't break with me after a year because
we didn't say a year though.
Yeah, we ain't said a year though. we go too deep with this. It's just a year.
So like, okay, at a year though, let's just say a year. Let's call it.
But that's different. That's different.
No, that's too much.
I think that's different.
No, that's actually insane. If you're with me for a year,
because like right now, like if you start talking to me today and then tomorrow you go, like it, I don't care. Like ghost me. But we've been talking and chatting and
I'm kind of in the middle.
You just vanish.
I'm just in the middle.
I'm gonna think you're dead for real. I get worried. I be like, wait, did they post their story?
I mean, hey,
I'm not looking at it as like in the context of we've been together for a very long time. I'm just like, we talk for a little bit, ghost me, fine. Yeah. If it's too long, then it's too deep.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it's before, I would say like after 6 months, you gotta like give me something.
6 months.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. Give me something. You can't just be
no, I agree.
Alexis and I
look, this one.
Be honest. I like honesty.
Well, yes, but
I don't mind. I'm like, you let me know.
I think the timeline, like you said, it depends.
Yeah, because like we 2 weeks in. I'm sure I think we've all been ghosted here before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because it was the time length that it was, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like if I'm ghosted, I've also been ghosted by someone that I was with for a very long time and they did not respond back to me when I said, I don't want to, that's a problem. Like you need to have that conversation.
That's true.
So I think that the length of time does matter, because I'm not, you got to tell me, you got to talk to me.
I agree. It could help you. You never know. You never know. So we hope you really enjoyed this episode. We hope you had a lot of laughs and a lot of deep thoughts. We just invite you to subscribe. Tell your mommies, your daddies, your uncles. Subscribe. Put us on the map, y'all.
Yes.
And we just want you to follow us on all social media platforms at The Bangin' Podcast. That's that favorite.
Yes. Yes. Well, thanks for watching The Bangin' Podcast. And on that note,
we love you long time.
Love you long time. Love you long time.